you're supposed to give me the finger, and then,
Put up your hands.
and then I'll start talking or making sounds. So welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us while we took a little bit of a drink break.
A whiskey break. Whiskey break.
For those of us who were drinking in February, which oddly enough is my co-host who said he wasn't, but you know what?
I fucked up.
No, you just get into the temptation.
There's no date on it.
Yeah, that's actually Buddy's. I don't know when he was here for that.
Oh, that was a long time ago. Buddy, how long were you here, or how long ago were you here and were drinking your beer? You deal with it. So, for anybody who was not part of the previous conversation,
And that's the whole.
Yeah, that's not.
our conversation, okay. We started talking about some jokes that we had made about women.
Not we, Stephanie made him.
Okay.
Not this Stephanie.
Yeah.
This Stephanie.
Okay, so a woman made a joke about a sideline reporter and her opinion that women should not be sports reporters, which offended somebody at another woman
Yeah.
at a Super Bowl party to the point where they left.
Angry.
Very
Angry.
Oh, I would assume that there were some bras being burnt that day. We've been talking with our Stephanie in studio here, and asking her questions about her feelings on the women's liberation movement. So, Steph, I will give
I don't know what the hell's going on here. It's a shit show
Well, I
back
am
here.
now the spokesperson.
you are the
for-
spokesperson for all things vaginal.
Yes. Let us know what's going on in there.
Tell us what's getting down on
Can you
there.
give me a roadmap to the clitoris, please?
Do you have a whiteboard?
No, we have a fucking pen right here and paper. Yeah, I need like a map. Like gold.
Whatever part makes her go like that.
I did the bean holes.
Is that the bow?
Yeah. Do you remember?
That works too.
So before we went to break, we were saying how, or Stephanie was saying how awful the office is. Do you remember the one where Dwight went up to Toby?
Yeah, you hate the office.
I don't
I
hate
think
the office.
everybody that's listening right now knows that you're anti-office.
I don't
That's
hate
what I
the
heard.
office.
You hate the office and you don't ever want to watch it. That's what I heard. That's never heard that.
Do you remember when Dwight went up to Toby?
And he asked him where the people, where the clitoris was.
Where's the clitoris?
Because he's human resources.
And it was the sexual harassment class
Yeah.
or something. And it was like, can you tell me where the clitoris is? And Toby was like, I feel so bad that our educational system let Dwight down. But I am human resources, and he's asking a question about the human body.
Anatomy.
But Steph, tell us why women should be out of the kitchen and into life making decisions like a man.
Ooh, I don't think I'm
You're equipped for that?
equipped to answer
You have a
for
vagina,
everyone.
don't you? Then speak on your opinion, my dear. So let me ask, okay,
Let's narrow it down.
Let's
That's
narrow it down.
incredibly vague.
yeah, I know, I'm ambiguous at best.
Okay, so I want to ask this.
Go for it.
Are women and men equal? It's a serious question.
Yeah, no, it's actually a really deep question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
I mean, that's what she said.
I
I'll be here all night.
I'll be here all night.
Oh.
Michael Scott.
God.
don't want to say something that I will
Regret later.
regret later. I think we all deserve. I think two men are equal.
That's true. Okay, I'm glad you said that because that was gonna be actually my response to whatever you said.
But I think there are levels of people that can reach a certain level of equal. I think you just need to, I don't know. I think there's like a peak for both genders and you can hit
But I feel like
both.
no matter what happens, if it's a woman and they don't get that job or they don't get that position or they don't get whatever, there's gonna be an outrage at some point.
Because they can use the, it's because I'm a woman.
I feel like, so we're watching a basketball game in the background, right? I don't know if there's ever gonna be a woman that plays in the NBA. I feel like there would be a bigger chance of a woman playing in the NBA than a woman playing in the NFL because of the type of sport it is. but just the way our anatomy works, like men are a little more athletic than women. Like that's just how it comes out. Now I'm not saying that there are not women that are more athletic than men because me being out of shape, fucking can't run for shit. There's some women that are fucking way better athletes than me. You know what I mean?
Some.
There are probably
Majority.
a lot of
Majority.
that can
If a
kick your
woman,
ass at
if a
anything.
woman could ride a dick, she can
Yeah, no,
ride a bike.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So this year there was a Super Bowl commercial, and if you didn't fall asleep during the Super Bowl, of a female collegiate football player, and she was the first one to be given a football scholarship
She was
at
good,
a
right?
at a non like special teams position. She actually plays cornerback.
Oh, cool.
And I actually, when I saw the commercial at the Super Bowl, I got curious, so I started Googling it. She goes to ELAC.
Oh,
She
no
plays
way.
football at East Los Angeles College.
Was
and
that
she
that
got
white
a
girl
full-
in that commercial?
No, Mexican, black chick.
Oh,
It was, anyway, but yeah, you can look her up. She's the first NCAA collegiate female who isn't like a kicker or a punter, something like that, right? She plays defense, and I root for her to make it to the NFL. And not being disrespectful in any way, I give her 0.1% chance of
I
making
think that's too high. I think that's the same percent chance you would give somebody that's like a Division I
yeah.
athlete.
it. Yeah,
She's
I
like,
don't-
she's at a community college. Like that's a huge difference. I mean, I think it's like 0.008.
You-
Like
Whatever
your
chance
BAC, like your BAC.
whatever chance any guy has of getting into the NFL, divide that by like 100.
but it's not, I wouldn't say that it is because there are women who are, it's not because she's inferior. She doesn't possess the athletic ability to compete at a pro level. It'd be interesting if she did make it, but I doubt it'll ever happen. I'm certainly not trying to take away that dream. Go for it, girl, fight for it. But if you told me, hey, we're gonna make a spot for her and somebody who's more qualified is not gonna make the team, I think that's wrong.
Well, the reason I'll fight that is because there's been times where people have gotten a position where like maybe they didn't necessarily deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can look at like that movie Invincible or whatever. Like I don't know if that guy deserved it or not. Like I mean, obviously the movie it shows that he did.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure there's been men that have been given positions and they've excelled at it,
Right.
where somebody in the moment is better than them. You know.
Oh, yeah.
But I honestly, if football's not enough sport, I think that women are gonna be
I don't think you'll ever see a woman.
not in our lifetime at least. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe fucking 60
But-
years from now, 7 years from now.
But that's two men talking, turning it over to the resident woman, the female at this table. Sai, what do you,
I guess I fall on both sides.
but, I mean, is that offensive? Does that bother you? That we would sit here and say, I don't think a woman will ever make it in the NFL?
I don't know what the general, I don't know,
We don't give a shit.
female population
Yeah, we just
believes,
wanna know
but
your
I
opinion.
do know factually, scientifically, that men and women are physically different.
Thank God.
Yeah, because if not, we'd just be
They're
We just be,
capable.
we just be poking dicks
Good.
yeah.
or
The
slapping.
league.
Yeah.
I just,
I was
there
pointing- I
are
was pointing my
differences.
2 fingers together for everybody to know.
There was,
Kinda like a
someone
Chinese
had asked
handcuff.
me once about this, sport, I don't know, one of my friends might have seen it on like Joe Rogan or something, maybe, I don't know. But they were talking about a specific sport and how there was a transgender, female
Yeah.
on the,
Oh, male, a transgender male that was technically female now.
no, transgender female, so was male, now
Okay.
female.
Right.
So, that they were excelling in the sport and how they
In
had
women's
to,
sports, right?
in women's sports, and how they had to, it was like a whole issue in their league or whatever you would call it, because they were trying to decide whether or not they should go with like the morally correct thing of allowing them there because they are transgender. And do identify with a female or as a female, or if it was not fair because they do have those like
Male chromosomes.
male chromosomes
Yeah.
and that different level of strength.
And what did you think?
I would say
You didn't think you were
No.
coming on and answer like
Shit.
real questions, huh?
I was just
No, this
gonna
is
like,
all-
let's talk about topics and then you guys could elaborate on them. I don't wanna do this.
Okay, well, I'll give you my opinion on that. I think whatever your chromosomes are, I identify with being a female, you might identify being with a male, or being a male, but, like, you are what you are. Like, whatever your chromosomes say you are, like, physically, if you're a male, like, if you have that same testosterone, it might be dumbed down a little bit because.
Every man's testosterone levels are different, and even women have levels of
Yeah,
testosterone.
but-
Obviously,
Some
much
women have
lower.
more levels of
But
testosterone.
male
than
testosterone's
men
Way,
I'm
yes,
gonna
yes.
say it's always gonna be more than women's, right? So if, I think I know what you're talking about, because there was a women's wrestler, a transgender women's wrestler, she had a winning state, and was like, went undefeated and all this shit, right?
do. And there was an issue with that.
Yeah, and it was like, well, she should have been wrestling with the dudes, but she's like, oh, but I identify as a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say I identify as a woman, but like,
Hey, I have been fucking kicking ass in Pop Warner because I identify as an 8-year-old.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, just because you say it doesn't mean that it's like
And-
physically who you are. I mean,
And
we
buddy,
have a problem, but
and buddy, just to let you know, some women can stand up to pee, so just be careful with that.
it's an art form.
Yeah.
Just like these baseball players that come over from Cuba, they say they're 23, but then you find out they're fucking 40. Like,
Or what's more is like 18, but they're actually 21. There's a huge difference.
yeah, because then at that point you've already.
Yeah, that just happened, actually. Was it?
So, but I guess like, this is a show where we have just made jokes about Chinese people, women.
You make jokes about Chinese people.
You make jokes about women.
That's true.
Okay, and you're right. It's called If I Said It, I Meant It.
Yeah.
That, I don't stand behind.
No, you're standing in front of
Yeah,
it.
you're standing in front of it, actually.
Listen, we want just real opinions. We're not here to say that.
We're not even right.
Have you ever been in the middle of an opinion though, and then you're just like, wait a minute.
But why?
Because you put more thought into something. You
Yeah.
don't, when you have a conversation, it's not like you've sat there beforehand and you're just like, let me form this an entire opinion and then talk about it. It's like you talk through those.
So we've been doing this for a little over a year now, and there are things that have changed. Like you think one way, and then like you get more data, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe I feel this way. I mean,
I've changed my opinion on the marginal tax rate recently, and you laugh. No, you guys all laugh, but I really have. So as a libertarian and somebody who doesn't give a shit about the government, I fucking hate all elected officials. By the way, our representative, Ian Calderon, pissing me off, by the way, Whittier, yeah, he's the one who put the bill into this play that you can't have a plastic straw. So if you're not happy with this whole straw law, Ian Calderon, fuck you,
it
government.
doesn't matter. It's already in place.
Do you hate that you can't have straws?
Yes, it's frustrating.
I don't even
I don't
use
even use
straws.
straws either.
I don't use straws.
Why are you so frustrated?
What pisses me off is when the government steps into a private business.
Of
Stop.
straws?
Yeah, yes. What if I owned a plastic straw company? You've now put me out of business, for what reason?
What if there was a very tiny market for something extremely poisonous to humans, but it was allowed because there was a market for it, and then people
Okay, but-
over time were using it over and over and over, and now it's poisoning the
Yeah,
entire
but
world.
there are laws in America. There are not laws in other countries. So like a lot of the stuff that I sell in my industry, they make all this stuff overseas because they don't have the same laws we do here. So
Right, of course.
But what you just said is, there's a market for it.
There's a market, but
So why would you take away my ability or my freedom to
your freedom
market
to
to
have,
that person?
because your small, your
That small
your
market.
business, that
okay.
small market is.
so you're pandering to the large market. You'd rather the big guys win than the small guys.
Meaning the government, the big
Yeah.
guys? I think that.
Or just big corporations.
Yeah, which is the government.
See, these things were not brought out of the government. These are smaller people requesting or asking of the government to put in these laws for reasons, because environmentally,
Okay, but we-
what are straws doing to people?
Okay, so
Or to the
But-
ocean? What is plastic doing to the earth?
I'll flip that. If it's that important to people, then make your voice be heard by not purchasing plastic straws.
So how do you
By
feel
not
about the
utilizing
plastic
them.
bags thing then?
I absolutely hate it.
Do you really?
Yes, I hate the fact because I question whether it is truly an environmental push. And this is part, to backtrack a little bit, my distrust for the government. How do I know that every government official in California didn't go, hey, Rich, fellow representative from California,
What up, ho?
let's invest,
That's what I would say if I was representative.
let's invest a large sum of our money into these
Metal straws.
reusable bag companies. Watch, we're gonna pass a law that says no plastic bags. Cause what type of bag has gone through the roof in purchases? Reusable bags, right?
Yeah.
So, hey,
Okay, so my,
Do you think there's somebody pushing the agenda of
think,
reusable
yeah.
bags?
I think people are, there's always an agenda to be pushed.
Yep.
I can guarantee that.
Yep.
Okay, so okay, so I remember as a kid, and I know you remember this, the biggest thing was when you bought a 6-pack of soda, to not throw away the little plastic thing that the soda's coming, right?
Yep.
Make sure you cut them.
Yep.
That's been going on for years.
Yep.
Why is that still available? If they cared so much about the environment.
Because it's a new thing to realize you can cut entire things out.
No,
no,
we can do that since
I
we were
mean,
kids.
we're talking like, so,
Yeah, no.
1990.
Like, wait a minute, we can actually ban this. We can actually
Yeah,
make
well,
it
why
so
haven't
that.
But they can put the 6-packs in a box.
so
Do you ever
since
see-
1990, when I was a kid, when he was a kid, I remember having to cut those up.
You know what we're talking about, right? When you
Yeah,
get
no,
6-pack,
I know.
you get a 6-pack.
Because they would get
Like-
around the fish and they would get around the
Yeah.
sea trips, and 100%,
It's true, yeah. We see.
I am
And I still
so-
cut them to this day. I still too. Yeah.
Oh, we cut them, I cut them up. Because I care about the environment. But that's been going on since 1990. But nobody has pushed any law to get rid of those.
Because it's a big corporation. Because whenever you said small little straw
Yeah.
company, these are big corporations. Coca-Cola.
Both of them use
Pepsi.
what? Both of them use plastic. So your straws that are destroying the environment, so are those 6-pack holders. Same,
But are the
Same
straw
plastic?
companies as powerful as Coca-Cola Company?
Of course not.
Of
no.
course not.
But
So
it's
they're
not
gonna-
Coca-Cola though. It's not Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola purchases those plastic 6-pack
They
holders.
purchase it
Or a
from
different
someone, but they're still using them.
Yeah,
So
that's a
they-
problem. That's a problem. So
Yeah.
that's what we're getting at. Is if I get the moral of what Kevin's trying to say is like, who are you or anybody to say like the free market? It's that's what we're about, right? That's what the United States is about, the free market. If I have a straw company and I'm a mom and pop shop and I may produce thousands of straws a day, and all of a sudden I'm out of business
Because one small child said these straws are awful, and a representative said, okay, we're banning them in California. Now you put a mom and pop company out of business. But yeah, the bigger problem,
Marina Ashley said she loves you.
Me?
but the bigger issue is,
Hi, Marina.
do you care, is it the environment that you care about, or is it the straw? Because you're saying that the straw is ruining the environment, but there have been, like the
They're
6-pack
doing
holders,
this. Yeah, they're doing
that
this.
have been going on for 30+ years now. And
Which
we've
is
known
the
about them.
straw?
So why didn't we
Okay,
start?
yeah.
I mean, if
We've
it's
known about that longer than the straws.
Yeah.
For sure, yes, because
So
people notice that more.
But yeah, we've
You know?
done nothing about it.
My
we're
point.
not trying to get to the point. Yeah, we're
My
just.
point is, question every fucking thing. Question it, because
We're not saying you're wrong.
I back you 100% on the can holders have been a problem a lot longer.
Yep.
But I also think that nobody has been able to make it an issue to make it banned because Coca-Cola does use it. It is a big, it's a big company that backs this company. Who cares? People don't. What companies? Okay, Coca-Cola doesn't profit off of straws. at all, because they don't use them, they're not required to drink, like, I don't need a straw to drink out of this can.
You're right. And that's the problem. But keep going. Coca-Cola doesn't profit from straws.
So it was possible to put this ban on straws, and it was possible to put this ban on plastic bags, because do you know any plastic bag manufacturers by name? Do you know any straw manufacturers
Well,
other than,
But what does that matter though?
that means that they're smaller companies that,
But okay, so you realize,
That proves the point.
yeah, that as a country, we built ourselves off mom and pop small businesses. So if we're gonna give all the power to large corporations, that does nothing for you and I.
but that doesn't mean we should
what-
still end it, that
what-
doesn't mean that we shouldn't get rid of straws,
What-
just because there's a bigger corporation that is still supporting plastic.
You're right, but what you're saying is that a major corporation
Has more to
profits from these plastic can holders.
Yeah,
So that's why we have.
So, but it's not about the government then. Oh, I'm sorry, let me back that up. It's not about the environment, it's about profits.
okay.
So, wait. So if everybody cared so fucking much about the environment, and trust me, I know I come off sounding like I don't give a shit, throw your straws in the ocean. That's not, I love this, I love the environment. Probably far more than you do. Like,
Yeah,
you're a
sure.
city guy, I'm a country guy. I love nature far more than I love being around people and cities. And I bet I would be fine if we as a society said, look, let's all get rid of plastic straws and let's start going to paper straws. I'm okay with that. I don't use fucking straws. What bothers me is that Sacramento or Washington or some government agency turned around and said, you can't have them because I said so. Because with the guys with them that it's good for the environment. Because if it was good for the environment, why didn't you go after the Coke holders?
Yeah, we should go after everything, not just one thing. Like,
So,
But you have to tackle those small things before you can get to those big things. It's like the pharmaceutical companies. You can't tackle
wait.
big.
Stay
Pharma.
on plastic.
I will stay on plastic,
What
but
about
I just want to know, you can't take down big pharma because it's so big and it's so government.
Yes, you can.
Okay, we won't get into that.
By allowing competition or,
Yeah.
like we said earlier, the free market system. You want to talk about big pharma, it's big because you only have one or two companies,
yeah,
right?
you only have your limited options. If there was a big straw company where,
Yep, where they were the
Where they-
99% manufacturer of plastic straws, there would be no ban.
yeah, we know that, and then they would get rid of the fucking soda thing or whatever.
Yep.
Like, they would get rid of that soda fucking condom or whatever it's called.
Sorry, God.
What is it called? I don't even know what it's called.
I don't even know what they're called.
I don't know.
I just always thought of it as like the poor turtle around his neck.
Yeah.
And dude, trust me, like, I have a turtle tattoo on my leg. You just
Show us titties?
No, I was pulling sodas out of my.
Oh! I thought you were flashing us when I was like,
That would be like this.
oh,
That's
damn.
that way.
It's a crossarm.
Yeah.
Crossarm. You're missing it, bro. She's flashing us. But I guess,
Tell me
like,
that I missed it.
so I obviously I know you haven't really listened to our podcast. We're both very like
Leave me the fuck alone.
question things. Like things are just
Oh,
only
yeah.
black and white.
Yeah.
There's a huge gray area in life. Oh, I'm not saying you're wrong. Like,
Nope.
If it's helping the environment, that's fine. That's
And,
cool.
and to back your point and to justify what you just said, we'll both tell you, like, yeah, straws are fucking bad for the environment. I don't even use straws.
You just don't like that the government stepped in. That's it.
Yeah, well, because you're taking away. Okay, so like, let's say I had a straw company.
Yeah.
Like that was my business, my family business. We've had this business for 50 years.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, like now I can't do this business because the government's saying that it's bad for the environment.
Yep.
But there's
Far
50
more
other
things.
there's things that are way worse. Like I said, we've been hearing about this soda thing for years before you guys were born. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
and like how is this worse?
Why did we jump on the straw right away and not the bigger issue of these? Because a straw,
I feel like I could pinpoint the turn of the straws where everyone went against straws, and I don't know if
Right.
you've ever seen that turtle video where they pull out a turtle from the ocean and he has this thing
Straw
sticking out of
through
his
his
nose and it's all the way in his brain and there's like blood coming out.
We had the
We had
same
the same thing where a turtle got stuck in the.
No, I
Coke thing.
know, but how much easier? Oh,
You can't say everybody because it's a general term.
Let me just tell you a quick story about the free market system. There was once a guy whose family business it was to make horse whips. Now I know that sounds awful, Pete is gonna yell at me, but what it was you had your horse and he was tied to a carriage and he made the whips that would whack, tell like the horse to go and stuff. Then somebody came out with a motor and he looked at his horse whip and said, my fucking family product is gonna be obsolete once they make cars and they make them affordable enough for everyone.
You make Ford?
So Henry Ford got rid of a horse whip business, created an assembly line, and made a Ford vehicle that was cheap,
horse powered.
that was horsepowered.
And a Mustang.
That is the free market system. The government should not come in and say, hey, we're going cars, you're out of business. Let me and my money decide what is worth it and what's not.
Well, straw companies that are using paper instead of, sorry that your plastic straws are not gonna last anymore, but maybe you should have been innovative before
But you didn't know though. You didn't know this was gonna happen. It just was a law one day.
But now,
It wasn't just a law one day.
Yeah, but it was voted on, right? Then all of a sudden it was like 3 months later. This is what it's gonna be. Like
and you have till 2019 to
Yeah.
get rid of your old stock.
Like it's
So
all
if I am a plastic straw manufacturer, I now have to redo my entire,
assembly line,
Yes.
which is no, your assembly line to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
to make
The
plastic.
machinery.
Yeah,
to make them.
and your machines to make plastic, not paper.
now I am all for, again, I don't use straws. I'm all for the paper straws. Make them
Okay,
disposable.
I guess my thing is, I am sorry for the families who thrive off the plastic straw business, but you are outdated. You are now,
I agree with you.
oh, okay, so why is it that it's a problem, like,
Because it was a law passed. It wasn't that.
It wasn't society.
Yeah, it
going,
wasn't like
"Hey."
everyone's like, hey, you know what? Let's use paper because it's better.
because
And
the general people don't give a fuck.
But
They
wait a
don't
minute,
care.
so wait a minute, you're saying the general people, so the mass population.
They don't care. I know where you're going. Yes, I don't like it
No, no, no.
either that the government had to step in and
So-
and
So
make this
most-
a law for us.
Most people said, I don't give a fuck.
About
And-
I'm never gonna stop using straws. I'm gonna use straws until
Uh-huh.
the day they stop offering them.
I don't give a fuck. So most people were like, look, I don't care. But a government official said, this is what you're going to do. And all of a sudden everyone's like, what the hell?
I guess.
I
it's-
think just enough people voted for it because these
Well, that's also a problem with that too, because
Yeah, that goes into a different
I
issue.
mean, you could use that same theory why people are mad that Donald Trump's in play. Like,
And you could use that same theory of Waipiko, which is one of the poorest cities in the
it
nation.
has the highest tax
sales
rate.
tax.
Yeah.
People are deceived. Again, going back to what I said, fuck the government. And I say that, but I should back it up. I am not an
You're anti-woman, bro.
no,
And anti-Chinese.
that,
anti-environment.
no. If honestly, like, if you knew me before this podcast, you would realize I'm not a city person. I don't like being around people. I want to be out in our environment, in our country, just left by myself. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm not a city person. He's a city person. I don't want to speak for you, but you would rather be
I
around.
enjoy both, but
Yeah,
yes.
you're more of a concrete jungle person. I am more of a tree and green and lake person. I don't want to destroy the government, the environment.
Destroy the government.
No,
We-
I don't even want to destroy. There is a need for it. I don't need it interfering in our day-to-day lives. Let me decide if I have the choice. And I'll give you an example. I purchased those real thick polyurethane or whatever they
Lug
are.
nuts?
Yes. Which are biodegradable. But I also bought these long straws
Is this a great to do that?
that are like the reusable ones. because I have a big water cup at work that I fill with ice and water and I drink it all day long. But I was using the Starbucks straws, and I just got to the point where I was like, every once in a while I'm throwing them away, I'm breaking them. Let me get something that's reusable. Something that is a permanent, not wasting and throwing it away. I chose that.
You made your own conscious decision
Which is,
of
that's
being
the
environmentally.
free market though, that's the free market.
I decided, you know what, I'm gonna spend $4, go on Amazon, don't start with me about government and Amazon.
Yeah.
But I bought reusable straws for that reason. I let my voice be heard through my money and bought reusable straws for work. I also purchased a fork, a knife, a spoon, a cup, a plate, and all that stuff that I keep at work because everybody else uses paper plates that they throw away.
Okay.
And every day I eat breakfast and lunch at work, so that's 2 plates a day, 10 plates a week. I don't want to waste that much. So I do care, and I let my voice be heard by not using those paper plates.
Do you know that laws are like
That I turned
30?
you on with my environmental saving.
No,
No.
no.
Can't turn anyone on.
Laws are
You know, a little dick.
laws are supposedly like 30 years behind what the general population is actually believes and actually wants. We're always about 30 years behind, and the reason why certain laws are passed without like people signing petitions or making state amendments, things like that. So you're always 30 years behind.
I don't buy that.
You don't believe that the government's always 30 years behind?
No.
Why
I don't
not?
think society is 30 years behind. Because
I
again,
think laws are 30 years behind, but I think society is
why do we
all
need laws?
because people.
Now, again, I'm not saying get rid of all laws. We have a standard set of law. You can't murder your neighbor. You can't steal your neighbor's shit. But do I need a law? A couple of years ago, I don't know what it was this January 1st. But I'm gonna go back to 2017 because for some reason that sticks in my head. January 1st of 2017, 396 new laws went into effect.
Oh, that's what
in
Obama
California.
his last year into,
Something like that.
yeah, I remember that.
We need all those laws? I don't think so. We have.
How small are they?
Oh,
But
but
what's-
what's the point?
Yeah, what does it matter?
If they're a big law, they're a small. You're in.
Like, so technically, jaywalking's illegal in New York, but
But they do it.
when they do it, like.
So I'll give you an example. A person that I know, not me,
I think it's him.
had a assault rifle that was. No, and legitimately, this is not me.
I know, it's just funny though.
Had an assault rifle that was legal December 31st of last year. January 1st of this year, it's illegal. What's the difference? If he wanted to do something with it last year, he could have. Why is it suddenly illegal now? Because a law went into effect.
Probably because of all the shit that's happening.
No, yeah.
Why?
But then also, that same person went to a company and said, make this legal. And they said, well, the law requires us to, one, make it legal, but at the same time, there is another law on the book that says if we alter it, then we are breaking the law. So when you have two laws that tell you
They're
you can't,
contradicting.
there's too many laws. More than too many laws, there's too much interference in our day-to-day lives. That's all I'm saying. We have a standard set, but that's what basically this has been a very long conversation about a straw
Yeah, I was talking about booty holes again.
and what you
It's
So
sticking
it's like,
put up
yeah.
your beehole.
it's sticking a straw of a booty hole.
No, you don't do that. Those straws are sharp.
You want to see what happened to that frog, or to that fucking turtle, imagine what happens to your bow.
Ugh, goes right through it. The point being is that if it means that much to everyone, then you will go out of business. Like, you know, the
But we can't
Southern
wait for
Carolina-
everyone to decide that, yeah, this is bad, because
Why not? Everybody decided that electric cars were the way to go, and now there's more electric
how
cars.
long did that take?
Probably 6 years.
6 years to decide?
from the time
No,
electric car,
we-
no.
no.
The first electric car came out in maybe
Was that?
98, maybe?
Was
If not
that-
2000.
And that's because
And that's
people
giving-
realized, hey, this is an environmental issue, we shouldn't be
But there wasn't a
using
law.
these
But there
fuels.
wasn't a law that had.
Exactly, but now there is a law, and how many years
No,
is
there's
that?
no
That's
law.
about 30.
There's no law that says you have to have it. Now, there are tax breaks if you purchase one,
Yeah.
and there are benefits to it. And if you wanna make incentives, okay, fine,
Because
make your
all I'm getting
incentives.
at is like that was your option.
Yeah.
You made the choice.
You made the choice to go electric car. There was no law that says you have to get rid of your.
If you started buying like McDonald's and they're like, oh, you want a soda or whatever, and they're like, oh, do you want a straw? And there's a 5-cent cost to it,
Yeah.
a fee to it or whatever. Like that's your choice, right? Like you can
People won't, yeah,
You
people
can
won't.
choose or choose to or I brought my own straw. Like
Right, you can still get plastic bags, those durable bags at like
You just
Ralph's
pay
and,
10 cents.
but you have to pay 10 cents.
yeah.
So did we really save the environment? We're still manufacturing plastics that are even thicker, which uses more, which means they last longer. We still have them, it's just you have to pay for them now.
Let's get to Kevin's corner. What is the questions? What do we have?
Alright, so,
I'm sorry.
you asked me a question.
What was the question?
You asked me a question earlier today.
Was it about your penis?
It was not, though it was about
I
my
don't know if Little Betty's on. Not Little Betty. What? Let's see if she's on. Oh, messenger. Go ahead. I'm listening.
So you asked me, and I think this was based off of the post Super Bowl party that I think you knew was going to happen. You asked me which athlete I would want to party with.
Ooh, yeah.
You want to start with that one? Let's start with that one.
I want them to answer that.
Let's pop this cherry. Sai, I'm going to start with you because you've been pretty quiet all day.
Yeah.
I think you don't want to really get into this whole women's lib conversation.
I don't want to be quiet.
I think he's better than women. That's why.
Yeah.
Stephanie,
It's 'cause-
I don't want to be
No,
quiet.
yeah,
I
it's
know
'cause-
I can argue my arguments when
What
I
is
have
what is
chance.
Sai's thing? You're cuter when you're quiet.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I love that.
And why have an opinion on women's lib when you could give an opinion to a woman? I think that's what she said during our break, but anyway, he didn't say that. He
No, I did not.
Given the Super Bowl and if you were to win it, you obviously are going out that night. One of the funniest stories, remember when Ron Artest came to the Lakers?
Yep.
The first championship he won, like the story is that he never even changed out of his uniform.
And he went to the club in that
He
shit.
went to the club in his
Yeah.
uniform,
That's
he went to
hard.
eat, like,
That's hard.
there's a reason why I love Ron Artest, like, he's fucking awesome. Sai, if you had the opportunity to win a championship, or even the sports team wins the championship, but you're just,
Somebody won a championship, whoever that was,
yeah,
whatever team, and you're able to party with them all night.
okay. You've got a list of folks that I'd like to go through, and if you have somebody else,
These are the 4 people that I thought of.
we've got Gronk, so he's partying right now,
Yeah, he just won.
okay? And he was at the Playboy Mansion at one point,
Gronk,
a couple, yeah.
He's probably fucked. a couple of people.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm probably better than Yasiel Puig from the traded from the Dodgers.
Yeah, he's a red now.
It's awful. He was so much fun. Conor McGregor. That's the best I could do. I was bad, but yeah. Or Shaq.
Or anybody else that you can think of.
Yeah, if you got somebody better, let us know. Let us know who it is.
Probably Connor, because I feel like he's just like a party guy. Like he's flashy. I think a lot of
He
flashy
is
people like
flashy.
doing a lot of outrageous things, and that's kind of like what I like being around.
Mm.
Steph kind of knows me about partying, drinking, and wanting to take more shots, and just, you know,
Yeah, the night doesn't end with Sai.
being wild. So I definitely would want to pick Connor, because I think his matching parties and his way of thinking of just having a good time is always
Like he genuinely, he reminds me of you. Like,
Conor McGregor?
yeah.
Why? Because we're both good looking.
Oh, and you're
talk
so
so much shit.
cut
and we
and
both can fight.
yeah, no, I mean
can't
just
do that.
physique.
I can't fight for shit.
Just chiseled bodies.
Yeah. I
Just like the
paid on my 6-pack. He actually works on his.
yeah,
I buy my 6-pack.
with the plastic. More than just like I don't know attitude.
Yeah.
Like, and I never think that Conor McGregor really says anything that's so like awful that he should apologize. But it's like,
Dude.
just writing.
He's actually said some really racist shit.
Yeah.
But because where he's from, it's like socially accepted. So like when he fought McGregor, I'm sorry,
Khabib?
no, Mayweather. He made a comment. I made him fight like a Mexican. If he was an American fighter, that
That'd be
shit
good, yeah.
would have been fucking blown up out of
Oh
whatever.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And then he also said something like a bunch of monkeys in the gym or whatever. But it never got any like press. Like what I think is just it's socially accepted. Like I don't think he meant it like in a racist way. That's just like how they talk, and
Yeah.
I don't know why people didn't fucking jump on it though. Like I thought after he said he made a fight like a Mexican, like the Mexican fighters
Fat
would be like,
yeah.
what he meant was like he made him like come in here and like go toe to toe with him or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, who would you party with? Stephanie?
I don't know. My idea of partying is
Just a
getting
8 ball
drunk
of
and
cocaine.
dancing. I like to dance, so I'm like, who would be the most dancey?
And
Gronk would be the one for you.
probably, yeah.
Gronk.
I don't think
You know
he
who Gronk
gets.
is?
I don't even know who that is.
Oh,
He's on the Patriots. He's
He's on
one
the
of
Patriots.
the
Well,
receivers, right?
Yeah, tight end.
The type.
if you don't know who describing his position and team, I don't help her much. Steph, if you have, if in a, for somebody who's a celebrity who achieves the top of the mountain in their respective genre, who would you want to party with that night?
Okay.
Does it have to be sports?
No.
I guess. I mean, well, we just said championship.
Yeah, it's
so.
the easiest, but I mean, if
I don't know. I don't think of celebrities too often. I guess
How about make it easier? Just any celebrity,
I know.
any entertainer, any artist.
nobody you'd really like.
All right.
Let's skip.
Let's skip,
me.
okay.
Yeah. Let's
So mine wasn't on the initial Fab Four here, but I didn't name it. 100% not Meta World Peace. The old Ron Artest. That
Was he on the pit? Was he the Pistons or what was
He was-
the Pacers.
he was
on
on
the
the
Bulls.
he was a little. I mean, I guess there was like an altercation or something
that
happened.
brawl?
In the Mouse in the House.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a minor like disagreement.
He only
with
got
fans.
suspended 81 games.
Yeah, it was a minor
Or
disagreement
42
with the
games or
fan.
whatever it was.
No, it was like most of the season. I think it was closer to 80.
Well, there's 82 games.
But that's what I'm saying. It was at the beginning of the season, so he missed the entire season.
He
A minor disagreement with a fan.
he seems like he would be fucking cool to party with. So I debated to put him on there. I debated to put Dennis Rodman on there.
Ooh.
I think Dennis Rodman would be cool to party with.
Yeah.
But then I think you have to do a lot of drugs and you're probably not ready to do. And I don't know if I'm ready to do that.
He was with Pam Ann for a while too,
Yeah.
right? So there's a whole crew that comes along with that.
Yeah, and hepatitis C.
I don't get C's, bro. A's only.
Okay, well I think that's even worse,
I'll
right?
take-
That's like the deadly one.
Really? Because on my hepatitis test, I got all A's.
Yeah.
Shit.
So yes, but I didn't want all basketball players. I think
No, yeah, I got you.
for the most part, basketball players, their personalities come out a little more than baseball or football players.
Pac-Man Jones may be a really good
Juju
dude.
Smith-Schuster, more
I haven't
recent.
heard much about, like, how does he have kind of the same stories? as-
Juju?
Yeah.
No, he's just like a fun dude. Like he
Yeah.
goes like festivals and like he's one of those guys that like dances and like does the Fortnite dances.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean? Like
Yeah.
if I had to choose though, I would go with Shaq, dude. I think Shaq would be fucking awesome to party with, cause he's like he's the biggest fucking guy there.
Oh yeah.
Like he's bigger than like his personality is bigger than his fucking actual stature. I don't know, I just think that Shaq would be the way to go. Like, he probably didn't even drink that much. I don't think.
He
I mean,
doesn't.
Step out. I'm just kidding. I'll be right back.
Oh, where are you going? You got
Don't
food?
worry about it.
You gotta drop a
We
deuce.
gotta do something very mysterious.
You gotta drop a deuce.
Hey, make sure you piss that up. Women's rights.
You know, I like the Shaq answer, I do. I think he seems like the type of guy that the party's not gonna get so, like, arrested like Pac-Man Jones,
Oh, yeah.
but you just know, like, when Shaq has a party that it's just gonna be shit full of celebrities and it's gonna be an event.
Like Deion Sanders would be a cool one, too.
Michael Irvin probably.
Well, because he's all cooked out.
Well,
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
That is all funny.
back in the day.
Religious
What about like Mike Tyson?
shit. Ooh, that's a good one.
Talking about Mike Tyson in his
No, the
prime.
old, yeah,
In his prime.
pre-tattoo face.
When he
Mike
had the
Tyson.
lion or the tiger, whatever he had as a
Yeah,
pet.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good one too. And on those lines, I would assume like
The lion
Floyd
lines?
Floyd
No, but see,
Mayweather,
Floyd doesn't drink though, so I can
Floyd
party
doesn't.
with. No, he doesn't drink.
but it's crude like everyone.
Yeah, but I would want to party with someone that I could party with.
Yeah,
I'm weird
okay.
like that. I think Shaq would
Okay.
drink. He wouldn't get fucked up, but I think he would drink.
And I think even at like a Shaq party, you wouldn't want to get fucked up
You
because
want to remember everything?
yeah, you want to remember everybody around you.
And I think predominantly it would be just drinking at a shack party. I don't think you'll see drugs. At least I don't think there
I
will.
mean, you never know.
You got the,
Oh,
white, you got the white people. You know these white people. But,
No, I don't think it's just white people that are doing white lines. Like, did you see Any Given Sunday? Fucking Bill Bellamy was doing coke off of a hooker's titty. Lawrence Taylor,
Ooh, well, yeah, because he did a lot of drugs.
yeah, what's it? Josh Gordon?
Well, he just does weed, so I don't think he'll be that fun.
Okay, Dave, you don't think his crew? He might smoke weed, but
Richard, again, he doesn't want the crew. He wants to party with.
Yeah, I want to party with
That's
that
true.
person.
but
I want to party with that person.
you don't know that Josh Gordon doesn't drink though.
I know. And actually, I think he, for sure. Oh, John Jones. I think John Jones does some crazy shit. He takes dick pills and everything.
He takes
Oh,
dick
yeah.
pills.
Yeah.
But he's- but
He
he's
got
trying to-
caught. He got caught.
Yeah.
One of the PED tests that he got that he failed was because he was taking like some dick pills.
So,
He was trying to get it up for his chick.
what is his name? Albert Hainsworth. If you want to talk like,
Half these people I don't even know.
okay, so Albert Hainsworth used to be the defensive lineman for the Patriots. He was the guy who walked the is that Albert Hainsworth?
Albert Hainsworth was
What's his name?
he was for the Titans and for the other. Are you talking about
Who was the
Vince Wilfork
Vance Wilfork?
with the
You're
fucking
right.
suspenders?
I think if you're talking
Or overalls?
daytime, overalls. If you're talking daytime, like, hey, having a party, I think Vince Wilfork's barbecue would be fucking bomb. Because he does a lot of those, like, Food Network parties. I think his shit would be awesome.
Wasn't there like a kicker from the Raiders that all he did was party and he would go on hungover?
Janikowski.
What about
Sebastian Janikowski.
I mean, you know he parties.
Yeah. No, I mean,
And doesn't he have like a beer belly and everything?
yeah, Janikowski's like a big dude.
Yeah, he pulled a muscle because he's kicking for what?
You see how
Seattle.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he could kick in the playoffs.
I don't know.
That's why he's
All right, what do we have for Kevin's corner? Kevin's advice.
Why did it come to my advice? I was saying Richard and Kevin's corner. But so while we're working on this name for our advice column,
Can't breathe her now.
Put some
already in
gasoline on your
no,
nose.
Pac-Man Jones. Too much Pac-Man Jones. So we had a couple of questions that came through. First was, and we normally don't give out names of who's asking these questions, so you can ask anonymously. And we'll keep your privacy. We're good at that. For this one, it's very specific. We talked about it earlier. Mark Torres and Buddy want to know when they can come on the podcast.
Yeah, Mark Evers.
Mark
Buddy,
Evers.
whenever he wants.
Buddy, you're welcome anytime. We do have some serious questions though. So this one's interesting because it kind of applies to me a little bit. Richard, would you date a girl
Yes.
Yes, dude.
who has kids?
Yes.
Why don't you ask them first? Come be last.
We'll go around the table.
So, would you date a girl or a guy? I don't know. Whatever
Would
your
you,
preference is.
so as a man with kids, who's
Kid.
kid? So Yvette, turn your volume down real quick.
She's in the kitchen anyway, don't worry about it.
Okay. Steph, would you date me?
No.
In spite of the fact-
No.
Because I have an 8-year-old, or because I'm an asshole?
Because, no, it wouldn't be because of a kid,
Because I'm an asshole.
probably.
Cool. So you're okay dating a man with kids?
I never have.
Even better.
You're just not opposed to it?
I'm not opposed to it. I think there are some great people out, the great guys out there, and probably really great dads that are just not in relationships with their baby mamas.
I know a lot of girls that are like totally opposed to that. Like, they're just like, fuck that, I won't date a guy with a kid, like,
Mm-hmm.
da da da.
I think I owe it to, again, I'm gonna mention my stepmom again, but she was a really great stepmom, like, fantastic. Yeah, like,
Parenting is tough.
like she's the anomaly of stepmoms because I've heard some really awful things, and for sure in the beginning I couldn't stand her. I hated her. I was like, you're taking my dad from me. But after, her and I were like best friends, and I feel like because my dad
you learn
loved,
from it.
yeah, it was. I'm not opposed to it at all.
Prior to my fiance, obviously, I'm gonna say obviously because if I don't, I'm in trouble. There's a lot, I've had a couple of women who said, no, I don't date guys with kids. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, be a bitch.
Hey, better for her, better for Yvette,
Yeah, well, no, yeah, no.
that they passed on you.
We're not talking, but.
You know what? I did date a guy with a kid.
Oh, liar!
Oh,
I did.
shit.
It was very briefly. We barely dated. It was
If
like
she
2
said it, she
days and
kinda
a lot
meant
of
it,
sex,
yeah.
and that was it.
A couple sex,
There's a
and
lot of
that's it.
sex. Wait,
I,
go back to that.
Well, so go back to that
I said
question.
we
Yeah.
barely.
How far
I said
was
we
it? How
barely
far-
dated. It was like a couple of dates and a lot of sex, but
Yeah.
that was it. Like, and it wasn't. And then we didn't stop dating because he had a kid.
That sounds
We
like a
stopped
great relationship. to me.
dating. I know, right? It was ideal.
Where do I sign up for this again?
So it wasn't because,
Where I only had to date you for a little bit and have a lot of sex?
It was mostly just because we were both like alcoholics at the wasn't good.
Oh, at the time, really? At the time?
At the time, now he's changed, but I haven't.
that AA program didn't go over well, because you're always an alcoholic, but.
You can't be each other's sponsors.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, no, probably not. So it wasn't because he had a kid.
It wasn't because he had a kid. That was not an issue
How many
at
kids?
all.
One?
He had one kid.
Si, would you date a man with kids?
One, I would not date a man.
Okay,
Two, I've already dated a girl with a kid.
okay.
So, yes, I would date her.
He was ready to be stepped
More
out.
times, but preferably I would rather not date a girl. But, as you get older, people
Yeah.
have kids,
Yeah.
The
So
pond is a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Richard, would you date a kid?
I would not date a kid.
Oh.
I barely got that shit right
I'm not fucking, what's the name from Subway?
Jared?
About Jared from Subway.
Not Jared, you're not Jerry Sandusky?
I've come to the conclusion though, that the likelihood of me dating a girl with a kid is a lot higher
It's,
than
the pendulum's
kids.
swinging, yeah.
Do I prefer to date a girl without a kid? Yeah, I think I would, because it just comes with less, like,
Responsibility.
and obstacles.
Yeah.
The responsibility I'm actually worried about, it's more the obstacles. Like, you don't know, like, so,
You can't always just drop everything and do something.
well, in my experience with the girls that I dated, depending on the situation, like where they are with this person, is it like, is he still in love with her? Is she still kind of somewhat in love with him? Like,
The
There-
complications?
yeah, there's a lot of things that you don't really know, because the truth is, when you date somebody that has a kid, like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, you could say, I don't fucking love him, they did this to me, they did that to me, whatever. But the truth is, that's the father of your kids. Like, I told this to multiple girls that I dated that has kids. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if one day you told me you're gonna go back
Yeah,
to him.
yeah.
And it's happened a couple times, you know what I mean? And I'm not surprised, because the truth is, you have that
Connection.
camaraderie or whatever with that person, where it's like, it's just easier sometimes just to be with that person because they have a kid
Yeah.
with them, and it's like, I don't have to split my time with my kids and blah blah blah, and it's like,
Yeah, I really only know one
That's so
girl
sad.
who.
but
I
it's
would
true though,
say-
it happens a lot.
I knew one girl who had a kind of a one night stand deal, got pregnant, and she was like, nah, I have no relationship with him, he's not part of my daughter's life. Who I could say like, yeah, that's probably that's the rarity. But the problem with that.
Yeah, but
person
then
comes
I would look at that person like, so you just hook up with somebody without a condom the first night? Like, really?
and see, I look at it as,
Like, you little
shit,
hoe?
how are you gonna spend the night because you have 100% custody? I look at it logistically.
I have a spare bedroom.
That's true. Little NyQuil, little baby NyQuil.
Lock the kid in the fucking
Oh,
room.
that's it.
And
Put
go.
them in their
Boom,
cage.
boom, boom. Don't worry about the noises.
Yep.
We're building you a playhouse.
Yeah.
Go to Petco, get
But
one
I'm
of those
gonna
like,
play it.
get those big dog cages. I got you. Yeah.
Oh no, I won't talk about that.
Talk about it.
Oh,
You already said, you gotta talk about it. Go ahead.
Have you?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what I should say.
Ever, when you were younger, walked in on your parents or
No.
no?
I didn't.
Oh
You
my
did?
God. I was like in first grade, and
Mom and dad or mom
walked in.
and dad? Mom.
Can't sleep, mom. And then it was like full on. And my mom and my dad were not together anymore. They were not together from the time I was like 3 or 4 years old, but they were still sleeping together. I guess. I
Back
don't
to
know.
what you said.
Because it was easier just to
it's
get
way
laid that
easier,
way.
yeah.
I guess so, yeah, and it was the most traumatizing thing to me. Sometimes it'll still pop up in my head, and I'm just like, I should have never seen that shit. Like, it haunts me.
Did your dad have his hand behind his head, like, just like, I was.
In the mirror like
You know what? Like, seeing it was really, really dark, thank God. So I didn't see anything, but I knew what was happening, maybe because of, like, movies that I had, like, glanced at or whatever as I was young, but it was awful.
Call porn.
Yeah. Yes. And then there's a specific noise that like when I have that memory, I just hear like the belt, like as my dad is putting his pants back on, and you hear like the belt noise. That
That
noise,
jingle,
that jingle. I hear a belt, and I'm just like, and it's not for like the right reason. Like,
Wow.
yeah, traumatizing. Anyways, back to something not incredibly fucked up.
I walked in on my parents one time, and I remember both of my parents were covered by a blanket, you know what I mean? But I remember my dad like rolling off of my mom, and then the whole like, what do you want? Like,
Their faces
yeah,
bright
like,
red.
we're not doing anything, what do you want? And it was like, oh, well,
Don't come any closer.
and I remember it because I remember saying, there's snakes in the kitchen. And my parents were like, what the hell are you talking about? And I was like, no, there's snakes in the kitchen. I hear hissing. And they go, what the heck, like, what are you talking about? So I remember my dad getting up. He goes to the kitchen. Yeah.
it was his thing.
A water pipe had burst.
Yeah, he was trying to get his burst.
You try, yeah.
There's
So
too
that-
there's too many.
Yeah, and then I'm going into plumbing, which is real bad. But the water line had the galvanized steel
Squirting everywhere.
was squirting everywhere. Whole kitchen wet.
The kitchen and the bedroom. How did the fucking the
Hey,
kitchen
you-
wet the bedroom? I don't get it,
You
Dad.
saved your house.
You
saved
underestimate
your
You know,
house.
like a little like ballad. Ding, every time he does it.
You underestimate the Asians. But no, an actual like a water main had gotten a crack in it, and it was flooding the kitchen. And I remember being a kid going like, "Fuck, there's snakes in the kitchen." Like, as a kid, you hear that sound of water just like, and you're like, "There's fucking snakes in the kitchen." And then I remember like, "Oh, there's a snake in my mom," but you don't realize that as a kid. As an adult, you realize, yeah, there was a snake in my mom.
I'm sorry.
But I remember the kitchen being flooded. So,
There's more of a
yeah. So for all of the people who are wondering, would a woman or a man date someone with kids? Yup.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it.
If the pussy's good.
If we had younger people here, they would definitely say no.
That's
But
the
as we're older, it's
You become
more
more
common.
realistic.
Yeah, more realistic about it.
I'm
You'd be
also so
surprised.
much more ready to be a stepmom than an actual mom. So bring it on.
Why?
I don't know.
It's easier because nothing's coming out of your vagina.
Nothing.
It's just going in your vagina.
Things coming in, but nothing's coming out. I'm alright with that.
Just come in my mouth already.
that what she said?
Yeah.
Last
I
night?
literally,
Slap her in the face. Oh, you got a little excited there.
Chef
Yes, sir.
flashback.
She's like, ooh. She fucking shivered and everything. Ooh.
Felt that.
Are we ready for the next viewer question?
Yeah.
Okay, for Richard and Kevin's corner. Where you going?
I have to restart the video. Go ahead.
You wanna just take a quick break?
No.
I gotta pee.
No.
Okay.
You guys are happy?
Nah, let's finish this and then we'll do the 21 questions and then we'll finish.
Yeah. Apparently I have to suffer.
Yeah, you do. Women's rights.
Next question.
I would gladly take over.
Our, I think our Instagram feed went off.
Yeah, that's why I had to do that.
Ah, so do I have to log back in? Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
exactly.
Okay.
Alright, what was the next question?
The next question is-
Corner.
I don't know why it became mine.
I don't know. It's just something in rhymes, that's why.
Ah,
Kevin's corner.
Yeah. We should make
What's-
it like Kevin's corner and then something else with a K, then we can call it KKK.
no, let's not.
Oh, okay.
There are very few times I put my foot down and like, I don't like that. Yeah.
Legal action. Right?
Don't link me with the KKK.
We already did.
Yeah, I know. We're not going too deep in that. Okay. What's the deal? What's the deal with Tinder? So, not that I know, not that I'm on Tinder. You match with someone, you swipe right. Is it right?
Yes.
You swipe right for Mrs. Right. She is obviously swiped right. Tinder has matched you through their long string of
Algorithms?
algorithms. Good job. Hey,
Like that one?
I do.
I gotta pee. What's the picture?
Really, Dick? Fuck you. No, I took my earpiece out. I'm on my way out. I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna disappear. So, why is it women don't respond back after you've matched with Tinder? Both of you have obviously swiped right, and you say, "What's up?"
I find Stephanie everywhere.
Talk
I
slow.
go. Remember I'm always screenshotting you.
Fuck you, why would you?
Every time I'm on Tinder, say like in Hollywood or whatever, she comes up and she's like 2 miles away.
Oh.
I never swipe on her, but I just like
So
always
what do you
see
do
it.
then?
So apparently there's this thing that like if you're in a location, they will group you. Like if you're in a location and you open your Tinder app, it'll tell you, it'll like say this person is in this area or whatever.
Yeah,
So there was a
I was in Idaho and it just showed me all people from Idaho.
no, not just that, but there's like hot spots
Like
or
say
whatever.
say the festival, say like you're at Coachella. You only get matched with people at Coachella. That's what that location thing is.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I've popped up on your thing like twice. Don't exaggerate. Don't exaggerate.
So why don't you guys swipe right with each other? It'd be funny.
I just
I think I have.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we've matched.
Any message each other like I'm just kidding, don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah,
You know?
like
Well, okay, so like have you and then like they message you or like if you're on I think it's Bubble, like the girl will message you first. Like, do you just not message that person? Like does that happen? And
okay,
why?
so
And why?
with Tinder, it's like swipe right,
Free for all.
swipe right for sure. Okay, I don't swipe right on the ridiculously hot guys
Why?
because I am intimidated. But so I don't swipe right on the incredibly hot guys. I swipe right on like people that are my type, and I guess I don't go for super hot guys. I like them a little odd and whatever, but yeah. So it's always a no on the super hot ones. It's always a yes on the ones that are definitely my type, and then I'll swipe right. And then there's those maybes of like, if he says something cool, then I'll message him back. But if he's like, he can't be like a maybe and be super lame. Like it has to be something like that catches my attention. And then so you'll swipe right on them to match whatever. And then there's always of course those people that you swipe left on, and you're just like, it's a hell no for me. So then when you get those messages from those maybes, and then those maybes are not interesting at all, or they're just like stuck, I'm not gonna reply to you.
So the message is everything.
So if you
Sorry,
if you ever message a girl and she
Size
doesn't reply,
taking notes over here. Hold on, give me a second.
if you
I
message
already
a
got
girl
my
and you
message.
or you match with a girl and you message her and she doesn't reply, you were probably a maybe. and you probably didn't do a good
Oh,
job.
you're just ruining like our fucking self-esteem right here.
Sorry.
How I message is like whatever I see in a picture or a comment in their bio, whatever it is, and that's how I go about the messaging process.
Okay.
Like I seen this girl, like she literally looks like
Well-
she's gotten in some trouble,
Oh,
and I'm like, hey, you look like you got some felonies, and like that worked.
You always tell me that you send that to girls.
I
If the
send that-
guys send that to me, I would be like,
But see, they have a sense
True.
of humor though.
and then I'd be.
That's the thing. Like I want a girl to like laugh. I'm not here to like just smooth talk. Like I'm
No, I
actually,
know.
I want to be
Yeah,
a
for
character.
sure.
But also,
show me your wiener. That usually makes girls laugh for me.
sure. No.
Show me your wiener.
Steph, when you're online, and I need you to be honest with me, how many dick pics get sent to you?
Never.
Really?
I
I'm
don't.
so
I
offended.
think-
I'm addicted.
I don't think people or men, and not sure why I'm so hot. Just kidding. I don't know why I don't get that reaction from guys. Like I've gotten maybe 2 dick pics in my life, and they've both been from boyfriends. I don't think I put off that vibe of like,
Send me your mushroom head.
send me your dick in your weird little hand. Like I don't think I gave off that
Weird
vibe,
little hand.
which I'm
That's the
grateful
weird
for. Like
That's
I,
the weird
I like,
part. Your weird little hand.
Your-
Like, don't send me your
don't
dick
send
pic.
me your weird little dick and your weird little hand. Like
What if
that's,
they, like, I dress mine up as, like, different characters and put them in scenes?
I feel like you'd be Yoshi.
I've
if it
seen
was
that
like a-
before. If someone sent that to me,
For
I
a
would
part, you'd be
appreciate
Yoshi.
it.
Like, you know, you put a little, like, hat on them and you put them in the West.
And you like build a little castle made out of like
Yeah, you
or
know.
whatever paper.
I mean, you could just take
Paper
a
mache, so you'd be like totally
Yeah,
Mario Kart.
yeah.
you know, you may give him a sword and, like, chainmail and then he's, like,
Or you
fighting
made
a
a
dragon.
tiny little piñata and you're
Yeah,
just whacking
see,
the
you're
little
just watching
piñata with your
girls.
dick.
Also, D just
Then
came on.
maybe.
D just came on right now. She showed me
A dick pic?
not necessarily the dick pic, but like the guy was like, "Oh, I made tacos," and like he was butt naked and he like took the picture of the tacos,
Oh, dude.
but his dick was like right behind it.
I've
Oh,
seen
see,
that,
no,
I've seen that,
He's
I've seen
fucked
that.
up. Put your wiener in the taco shell.
Tacos.
No.
Put your soft wiener in the soft taco
She's
shell.
not denying it. She just put a crying face.
Yeah, no. I have, look, I know from a women's point of view that the penis is a weird thing. It's weird, I get it.
I don't understand why.
But when you're in a relationship, especially in a relationship, like, I'm allowed to send you dick pics whenever. So Yvette gets a lot of dick pics, like,
This-
Kevin's fucked up. Not necessarily a dick
Ah.
pic, but he's fucked up and sent a picture he went to send to his girlfriend or his fiance. To we have a group message between all the guys in fantasy. And he sent it to us, and I can he's looking at him like with his hat. He has a cowboy hat with nothing on, looking back,
yeah,
or it's his cowboy hat around his dick,
yeah.
and it's just like him like this, like. and we're like, what the fuck is this? He's like, wrong thread. So we know Kevin sends dick pics. We know that for a fact.
No,
Oh, yeah.
someone says they're not a fan of dick
That's
tacos.
D.
That's D.
She showed a picture, and I was like, I don't
Oh,
want
you
to
met
see.
D. D was there for my birthday.
Oh yeah, she was
Yeah.
next to me.
Oh, hi! I loved you.
You,
by the
no,
way.
that over there.
Hi, hi.
There you go. Yeah, so when you're in a relationship with me, like, you're gonna get dick pics. Like, maybe I dress it up, maybe I put a cape on it and it's like penis superhero, but like, it has pictures. And,
She said, hey girlie, hey.
but that's more of like a relationship thing, not necessarily Tinder. I haven't had the best experience with Tinder. I kind of get in trouble every time I'm on it. Like, apparently it's not something you're supposed to use when you were engaged. So, yeah, she's told me I'm not supposed to swipe right.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
swipe left on everybody.
I thought like window shopping was okay. Women do it for clothes. But
Are you serious?
No.
Look at
I'm
her.
gonna flip a table.
Yeah, I'll give you her number. You can call her and talk around it.
Shit.
The things that I have exposed on this show would drive an average woman crazy. And
Yeah, we know her cycle.
Yeah, last Wednesday she started her period, and this week we're coming to the clean period. So we're good. We're starting a
Are
new
you
set.
pro or against period sex?
Pro.
I feel like a little, I feel like such an old-fashioned man.
This is the fucking freakiest guy in the world.
Yeah, and I don't do period sex. Though,
I
honey, turn your thing down real quick. I offered this week. I was like, hey, listen, you want to, we'll go
She
in
said
the
no.
shower, we'll do it. And she was like, no, it's really bad. I was like, okay, get the oil.
yeah.
He got all excited. He lit this peaky and everything right now. It's fucking
This-
weird.
So again, babe, don't turn your thing back. So
Is she listening?
Yeah, Deanna is.
Deanna is, but
She's
I don't know.
not. No, why?
She
Tell
said-
us why.
It's honestly it's
Call
a
her,
messy
call her.
thing.
Let's
It's
see
a
what she
messy.
says.
So this
It's-
morning.
Okay, you know what? I don't have. I've heard that there's a difference between people who have kids and then who have never had kids on like how heavy they are. So that is a big factor.
Mm.
Anyways.
So you guys want to hear the story this morning, and my fiance is obviously not going to listen to this, so it's going to be quick. I work from home today, so I was like, hey, I'm working from home. I come by. So she swings by, and she was like, babe, my tire light came on.
Oh,
So tell her, hold on while I
hold
tell
on
the
one
story.
second. Let's finish telling the story.
So she's like, my tire pressure light came on. So I was like, all right, I'll put air in your tires. So before I put air in your tires,
Sucking dick.
I didn't even ask the stuff because she's got to go to work. It can get messy, mess up the makeup. So I was like, look, here's some massage oil. Like just stroke me off. That's all I want, right? So I do my thing. She does her thing. Bam. So it's like, all right, you got to go to work. Let me fill up the air in your tires. So I get my pump. I pump up all her tires. So I was like, all right, well, like, thank you so much for
Thank you
swinging
for
by.
your service.
I'm glad you swing by Kevin's Air and Lube. Appreciate you stroking
You
me
just
off.
had your own
And-
little porno.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Right.
It was awesome. So we have somebody on the line.
Not yet. She hung up.
She hung up.
There she is.
So Dee, just to let you know, you are on air live on the If I Said It I Meant It podcast with Richard and Kevin. So just, I guess we have to say that legally. Thank you so much for joining us, Dee.
Why don't you like period sex?
The conversation has been mildly erotic. Why?
Don't say you feel dirty, because sex is dirty.
You gotta find yourself where your Wi-Fi is working better.
Oh,
Do we have her back?
There she is. Say that again? Yeah, go ahead.
Get into us where you perception.
Oh, well.
Once you do, we're curious why. Are you there still? Okay, we're gonna try this one more time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, why don't you like period sex?
I just feel like period sex and butt sex is for marriage.
Oh, wow.
That's-
Post it.
That's good.
It's so wrong and be so embarrassing that I'm gonna do it with my husband so he can't leave my house.
What if you put a ring on it?
That's what she said.
Well, but
Oh, fiance.
my chick has a ring, and I'm not married.
Oh my
Very
god.
proud. Oh, Ricky. We'll see if she listens, because she'll be pissed if she hears that.
I just don't find period sex like sexy.
It is messy, unless you do it in the shower.
Yeah, I'm a fan of doing it in the shower.
I'm down to like do it in the shower because it stops.
But
I'm not trying to lay a towel down and have
So,
period sex.
okay, start. No.
No, you gotta say it now, Stephanie. You gotta say it. Let us know about your bloody mess.
Okay, so I just recently came back from China. I was there for 2 weeks,
I'm so sorry.
and I went with a dude that I fucked on the regular, and I was on my period, and you think you're going on a trip with the guy, and it's gonna be all fun and whatever, but no, he planned this trip around my cycle,
Oh, that's
in the middle of my cycle, and so there was like, we were drinking every day, it was like we wanted to hook up, and I have had period sex with him before, but it was very like, let's lay a towel down, and let's jump in the shower, let's, very clean. No. In the morning, when we were traveling from city to city to city to city, so we were leaving hotel rooms, and I was like, I don't fucking care.
Oh, you left a bloody trail.
So those
But it wasn't messy. It wasn't messy. I'm a very light period. I'm
Yeah.
a very light
for
period.
those little Chinese ladies thought there was a murder scene, like somebody got fucking killed in their bedroom and shit.
We jumped on the bus. There was like a police car chasing us. Like, is someone dead? No. It was fine. I'm not a heavy person, so. I mean, I'm a little thicker, but I'm not a heavy bleeder.
Oh shit.
Dee, you've obviously
I don't
had.
even have sex like if it's like towards the end of my period. That shit needs to be over and done with before I have sex.
That's a little extra lube. You're good to go.
Dee, what is it about period sex that is awful for you?
I just think for me, like I have a really bad period and I'm just not trying to have sex on it. It's weird.
Now, I'm with you. I don't do the period sex thing of all the things that I do and don't do. By the way, I had a butt plug up my ass this weekend.
Wow.
I don't do period sex.
Deanna had a question that to follow up that, but go ahead.
I don't do period sex. I don't do period sex for a number of reasons. It's one, my fiance isn't into it either. We occasionally will go in the shower, but the shower sex is,
Shower sex is worse than period sex.
it's very difficult to do. Like, it's hot, it's steamy, but on the same
Lower
time,
the fucking temperature.
it's also hot and steamy. So like you're sweating, and the first time you have sex with someone in the shower, it's passionate and you are wet and ready to go and all of this stuff. After seeing this naked body for a long period of time, like, it takes a lot.
You're
So
also
it's-
just like on the third time, it's just like, why aren't you stronger?
Yeah, it's like, why?
Why
Oh,
can't you
God.
just hold me up?
Water is not the best, like, water-based lubricants is one thing. Water does not make a good lube. So, blood also is not the most sexy lube. So, yeah. Not down for shower
That's
sex.
so
I'm with you, Dee.
opposite of you guys.
Are you good?
I'm down with the shower sex.
See,
I'm down with the shower sex too.
you have.
Wait till you're with someone for like 4 years. Ask them.
Let's get to 1 year first.
Okay.
I'm down for I'm down for like shower head.
What was that, D?
I'm like, I'm just trying to meet someone.
Wait, you said what?
Shower head, shower like
Oh,
sexy shower time. Like that's way better. But
I mean-
shower sex is almost impossible. I don't think I've ever like.
so babe, turn your radio down. I'm gonna talk about you again real quick. So,
Do you talk to her all your podcasts?
Yes.
since she listens,
That's awesome.
yeah, because I will get in trouble when I tell these stories. So, the other day, again, this weekend, because she was on her rag, there was no pleasure for her.
Hey, D, I think you guys have the same cycle.
You might, P. She does a very good job alleviating the pressure in the lower regions of my body, even when she's on her rag. So, after some activities, I was like, I feel bad that she's got no pleasure. So I went into the shower with her. She was washing her hair. I waited a few minutes. I got in. She had just put conditioner in her hair. So I was like, all right, look, you've been stroking me off, sucking my dick all weekend. The least I can do is sit there and make sure that the conditioner is on every strand of hair. So I stood behind her.
Oh my god, that is the sexiest thing in the whole world.
So Jen,
I
right?
fantasized
You know what's
about
happening, right?
having my hair washed for years, and then finally, this is probably why I refer to someone specifically as the love of my life. He washed my hair for me, and it was beautiful.
That's creepy.
I didn't wash. All I did was stand behind her and run my
That's
my
creepy.
fingers.
Have you ever had your hair washed?
from her scalp,
By like even a gay hairdresser, I'm so turned on.
right, all the way. So all I did was stand behind her and run my fingers through her hair, all the way down to the over and over and over again. And
There
I'm gonna
might
tell you
be
something.
something wrong with me though. I don't know.
She almost fell out of the shower. Like just like you know, you get relaxed and you're just like, oh, gotta catch yourself. So, gentlemen, if you want to win brownie points, learn how to wash a woman's
Put your
hair.
finger up a girl's butt.
That might or might not.
That'll be a brownie.
That would be a brownie.
That'll be brownie points.
Not
for sure.
brownie, just brown points. So,
So, Dee, what question did you have for the group?
I don't have any questions.
Oh, all of a sudden, you're such a damn liar.
I'm never calling you again.
I called you.
Earlier, I called you and I had the question.
So, Deanna wants to know.
is it hard to hide a clit?
No.
Oh,
She wants to know if a guy puts something on his butt. Is that
no, not at all.
explain?
Okay, so being gay is not it has nothing to do with your beehole. It has 100% to do with the sex of the person who you're naked in front of. So would you call Hugh Hefner gay if he's surrounded by playmates and one of them licks and sticks her tongue up his butthole?
I do not want to imagine anyone's tongue up Hugh Hefner's butthole.
There you go. It's happened though. Let's be real.
Let's be real about it. So
He's dead too, so it doesn't matter.
Which is worse. Now I'm imagining a skeleton butthole.
Well, he's not. I don't think he's scouted yet. Has it been long enough for his body to decay?
I don't know.
Mine's a little butt play for a guy, but like, I'm not gonna be like pegging you and not think something.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Have you ever been curious about pegging a guy, D?
No.
You've never,
Talking the whole time.
you've never like wondered what it was like?
No.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to put your finger up a man's butthole?
She's done it.
Well, no,
she
no,
just said. She
But let's
just.
ask her, have you ever been curious about that?
No.
Why?
I just don't think I'd be turned on.
Not turned on.
Peg me.
It's not
No,
about
no, no, no,
you.
no.
It's
Yeah.
about them.
Are
I still wouldn't want to. I couldn't do it.
you've never been curious?
They wanted me to, paid me to. Nope.
Okay, so first off, paid you to is a
Yeah.
whole different category.
That's illegal.
Yeah, we don't promote that anyway. Consenting adults and all. But there's a lot of women who are curious about like what it would be like to put their finger up a man's ass or put a butt plug up a man's ass. And I think it has less to do about being gay as it does about satisfying that other person's curiosity.
Have you ever had a finger up your butt?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I don't like love it. You know when they like hook you from behind? You're like,
No.
Yeah, that's never happened to me. They tried.
Elaborate.
Hook as in how?
It's like they put like either you're
Like they're going
on
back-
top and then they're like boop, or they're on top and then their hand is
Oh,
underneath you
okay.
and it's like the
Okay.
boop.
Not like a doggy style. That would be.
Not like a boop boop. No.
Doggy style is a poke.
She said the hook, so it has to be around.
Yeah, it's like some weight around and behind you.
So if your legs are around him and he touches your butt, that's the hook.
doggy style, and he like has his hand on your back, and then like
With his thumb?
Oh, thumb up your beehole. Thumb up your beehole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And you, D, you're saying you didn't like it.
I just don't care for it. I'm always like, oh, okay.
Does he make you lick it after?
So, but D, you're correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're not really into butt play.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so then it doesn't matter if it's the hook, the straight, the jab, the curl around,
The pain?
yeah, she's not into it. So, I can see how if she's not into it, then she definitely isn't curious about it the other way. Steph, do you like butt play? And you might as well
Can
get
I
used to
check
this.
your followers and make sure that it's like no one that I care about it?
No.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yes, and so I have only been curious because, like in the guide recipient of that, one guy told me that some girl had done it to him before and that he actually liked it. And he's like, I'm not gay. And I'm like, well, I hope you're not gay because then you'd be confused because we're having sex right now. But I think I've gotten drunk before.
You think you've got drunk
I've gotten drunk before in like the middle of sex, maybe have done that to a guy, and then
How these are all babies and uncertainties.
I just like don't want to
Allegedly.
admit to anything. Look,
Allegedly.
allegedly I
And-
might have done a thing with my finger to a guy, but it was like that reaction. That the first time I ever did it was a bad reaction, and it was shower sex. So it was like already uncomfortable sex, and then it was that, and I was drunk, so I was like, fuck, I fucked up. Not every guy likes it. Another time-
In the shower.
The only other time, it's only happened twice, where I was also drunk and I did it, and it was actually enjoyable for that person. So it was like, okay, I guess not everyone is the same. Some people, I think it has to do a lot with like their
So now you're saying not everybody's equal?
no, I think it has to do with like their fragile masculinity more than anything, because
Ooh.
if you think about how
Wow, elaborate on
pleasure-
that.
how pleasurable it is for a guy to have it. I just read something where it was like a Reddit thread where a guy was talking about how he went and he got a prostate exam and the doctor put their finger
Made
in
him
his
come?
butt and he came immediately, and it's because there are so many nerve endings there for men, and if you're comfortable with your sexuality, then you're not afraid of having a finger up your butt. You're just like, fuck yeah, that shit feels good. Not shit. Let's not say shit. That finger feels good. There's a difference between someone who is comfortable with that because they know this doesn't make me gay. But if you're uncomfortable and you're not confident in your sexuality, then you're gonna be like, that shit's gay. I don't care how good it feels.
Rich,
I
why
feel like I know
does,
somebody like that.
why does she keep pointing at
Yeah,
me?
no, me too.
I'm pointing at you because you said that you had a butt plug in your ass the other day.
Yeah, this weekend.
It was recent.
It was
Oh my god.
your mom's
Yeah.
looking.
Richard,
I'm not a fan of a finger in my butt. But then again, I've never had it like to that extent to where
Yeah.
it ever either made me feel good or bad. It's just I'm just not a fan. I just don't even want anything around there. That's exit only, you know what I mean? Does that answer your question?
So
What the fuck is
What?
Just chuckling.
so earlier
You're just chuckling over here?
Richard was the
The recipient?
anti-feminist, making women's jokes, and I think I came off as the anti-woman guy too. And not that I haven't already opened up about my relationship and sexual activity with my fiance, but babe, turn off your radio. We're gonna do this camp. My fiance has asked, like, or been, I guess, more been curious, like, I wonder what it's like to take and put a butt plug up a guy's butt, right? To satisfy said curiosity, to empower my woman,
Oh, that's what you did it for.
I've been like, it's a very different feeling, I will say that, but it's not like the first on my list of things to do. Like, I don't look at it and go, yeah, I'm real horny, stick something up my butt. I do it for her because she has a curiosity, it empowers her to be in control. And that's what I want out of my partner in life is, I don't want you to be embarrassed. I don't want you to be, feel overburdened. If you want to control the situation, do what you need, do what you want to do. Like, there are times where she'll be in control, there's times where I'll be in control, but that's the relationship between us. Like, I trust her enough to go, if you want it, whatever you want to do it. I have a certain line, like, don't put anything on my pee hole. Like, that's one line.
So no catheters.
Nope, I'm not into just please don't play with my pee hole. And then
I don't
there's
want to
the,
put their tongue on you.
no. Creeps me out.
What?
And
weird.
if you're gonna bleed on me, like, give me warning for it. And her thing is, that's for her to say. There's certain lines that she has that I respect. But I think that's what is very, I want to say equal. You want to do it? Go. I am, like, your submissive. You do, like, 50 Shades style, like, but switched. You do whatever you do. I trust you. And I think she would say, fuck you, but then if you ask her privately, she'd be like, I feel the same way about him.
What about titty fucking? You guys pro titty fucking?
We did that this weekend too.
Don't care for it.
Yeah.
No.
You haven't found a titty
It's
fucking?
weird.
It's weird.
It's uncomfortable. There's no.
How
Sounds
much-
selfish, but there's no pleasure in it for me. I just feel like your dick is here and I don't know what to do with it because I'm used to, if it's this close, then it should be in my mouth, not in my tits.
You sound like a keeper.
Yeah. D, how do you feel about titty fucking when you put your clitoris between a girl's tits?
Oh my god. I'm like not opposed to it. I feel like it's a transitional thing. Rich and I have had this conversation before.
How
Richard
can
done
you
it?
like butt shit, but
No, she
Are-
doesn't.
not like butt stuff, but not, or
But you're a pro fucking
titties?
titty
No,
fucking.
wait.
If a guy wants to do it, I'll let him do it, and I'll pretend like I'm into it.
Pretend. Are you down for someone to take an amputated limb and rub it between your titties?
Sure.
Oh my god, I'm never gonna live it down that I went on a date with a guy with one leg.
I'll never let that
Was
go.
this a Tinder date?
No, she met him at a bar on my birthday. On my
Yeah,
birthday
that's
last
true.
year.
That's true.
And you knew he didn't have
No,
legs?
he's wearing pants.
So I
Ooh.
met him at the bar, we were talking, we exchanged numbers,
He was just sitting the whole time?
No, you said it. He had a prosthetic leg.
So then, I think like the night before our date, I was like, hey, like, do you have Instagram? And so we exchanged Instagrams. And I was like on it, and I was like, holy fuck, he's missing a leg.
Was that a deal breaker for you though? I feel
No,
like.
it wasn't a deal breaker at
She
all.
still went out.
Yeah, no, she don't.
Okay.
No, I don't think she. Did you do it?
No.
Oh.
Did he nub you? Did he nub you?
No, he didn't nub me.
Stuck his kneecap in your.
Amputated all the way to the hip.
Oh, that's
yeah.
fucked up. You guys are dicks.
Wait. Did he have a penis? Or just a bag?
I couldn't tell you.
That date ended poorly, didn't it, D?
It did.
If I remember correctly, it was like an awkward ending to that date.
Yeah, he like threw a glass at the bar. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
That's right.
Then you guys got married.
No, you got married.
All right, D. Well, thank you for coming on. Let us know that you like to get titty fucked. Appreciate it.
You're an idiot.
Bye.
Alright, bye guys.
All right. So let's pause for a second. Oh, what's up?
Go ahead.
Pause it. I just wanted to like restart that one.
Gotcha. So we've gone through a couple of questions. Should we roll with 21 questions for
Yeah, for
What is that?
that's 21 questions?
21 questions.
Are we taking a break? Is this
No.
pause?
No, it's gonna go by pretty quick.
Yeah, it's like sex with Kevin. It's gonna go over quickly, and you'll be disappointed when you're done.
But we'll be happy.
Yeah. So Here's the deal, Stephanie. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. I need you to answer them as quickly as you can. Don't think too much into them. Just give an answer. Okay? No one's gonna hold it against you much.
Except for the women's right movie.
And the bottom line is,
Kids like, fuck.
So I didn't meant it.
you're gonna want to read that banner one more time. So we're gonna roll through 21 questions. Everybody
Everybody
was on the show.
we're gonna do about 3 hours in this fucking show.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's crazy out.
You ready? Here we go. Question number 1. Do you want kids?
Yes.
Question number 2. Do you enjoy anal?
No.
Question number 3. Have you sharted?
No.
If you enjoy anal, I would believe you sharted.
Yeah.
We don't need to shard at one point in life. Let's just be honest.
So
Not that I recall. Maybe.
I guess we should add another question like, do you enjoy anal? No. Or do you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite fast food place?
Wendy's?
Is that a question?
I don't know. If I had to choose. Yes.
Hey, FYI, Wendy's beat Starbucks today.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a thing that we have every week. We're not gonna talk about it, but Wendy's beat Starbucks.
We'll have to circle back next week. Biggest fear?
The ocean. Babies coming out of my vagina.
So you want kids, but you're afraid to have
That's
babies.
why I said I'm down to be a stepmom. Hit me up if you're down. What's up?
Favorite chick flick?
13 going on 30.
That was a cute one. Dream vacation
What's up,
des-
Mark Ruffalo? Sorry.
The whole.
Yes.
Yeah. Dream destination.
Right now, it is Peru.
You want to go to Machu Picchu?
I want to go to Machu Picchu.
I do. I want to go there.
Is that like a different type of like? Is it like a Pikachu?
It's very much
these
Pokemon related.
Incan mountains.
Just say Pokemon
Beautiful. Okay, let's go.
We'll
Let's
go.
keep going.
Yeah, we'll go into that. Favorite drink?
Alcohol? Whiskey.
All right.
Whiskey ginger.
Do you dream in color?
Yes.
Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Well, when you say tomorrow, I'm excited.
Where are you going?
I have my fucking fridge right there.
Okay. I saw that in there, by the way. I went to Benihana last night.
Yeah,
My jacket still smells like fried rice.
but that's
I don't think
it's your cologne, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying. The two are not related, but. Stephanie, with your steak, soup or
Salad.
dressing?
Whatever comes
Whatever's
on a
white.
Caesar salad. White. It is white. It's very cum-like. Caesar
Blue cheese?
dressing.
Yeah. What dressing comes on a Caesar salad?
Caesar.
Caesar. Favorite position?
On top.
Would you rather fart?
She said,
On top. Fart in an elevator or fall in public? Ooh,
Are there people in the elevator?
The question is the question. I'll let you fill in the details.
You know what? If the elevator was empty and people were gonna walk into it after I farted, I'd rather fart than fall in public.
Side note, this has nothing to do with the 21 questions. I was taking a shit at work the other day,
all right.
and the dude in the stall next to me was breathing like this.
So I fucking breathing it out.
He was smelling your shit.
It was so bad, I actually turned my camera on and recorded his breathing and sent it to my fiance. I was like, listen how
So she has
loud.
to get your weird dick pics and your recording of people breathing in your shit.
There's
That's how there's love to be, right?
a cost to being with all of this sexy, okay? It's a small cost. It's also a small thing. Disneyland or California Adventures?
California Adventures.
Shaved or all natural?
Face or dick? Venus area.
Yeah.
All natural.
Playing the word association game, what comes to mind when I say masturbate?
All the time.
Every day.
Would you rather outgrow your jeans or go bald?
Outgrow my jeans.
Barf or squirts?
What?
Barf or squirts?
Barf.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Would you have a
With a plastic straw or paper straw?
Straight up the nose.
straight? So rolled up dollar.
Yeah.
Shitty job or shitty relationship?
Shoes.
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 Ooh. Ooh.
That's what she said.
Neither. God, I'd rather be broke and sad.
I think that's yes to both.
Really? Because you could be broke and have a good. In my scenario, you could be
I'd rather
broke.
be broke and lonely than.
Well, you can choose
Neither.
broke and happy or happy and broke. Shitty job. Would you rather have a
shitty relationship or shitty?
Job.
I guess I'd rather have a shitty job. Yeah, I've had shitty jobs. It's fine. You get off work and you're just like, fuck it, I don't care.
You get off work and then you go back to question number 7 and you get off.
Get off, yeah.
Yeah, masturbation. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Is that number 7?
I don't remember what number it was. I just said it.
16.
Oh, I was close.
Last question. If you had to give up one of these for a year, would you give up your phone, sex, or bathing?
Phone.
That's good. Did you enjoy yourself today? Did you learn a lot?
I did.
Do you hate us still?
No. Did I ever?
I don't know. I'm just a question.
No.
I hate him,
I just think
but I love him too.
one thing I do like about this, what we have going on is,
This little thing between you and me.
like you said, you just question things. Like, it doesn't mean we're right, but like, I'm always gonna question, like, whatever it is. Just because I just don't want to believe.
I love
what-
playing. I love playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
If you're like, I'm anti-Trump, I'll play pro-Trump just to get people to think the opposite way. If you say I'm pro-Trump, I'll play anti-Trump. Again, just to get
Some are a
to
little
think.
easier than others.
No, yeah, no. What was it the first podcast when we were talking?
It was Michael Jackson versus Prince.
No, it was method actors,
Oh yeah.
and everybody around the table was like,
I didn't know what a method actor was.
And of course, I had to sit there and go like, well, to take the devil's advocate point of view, I have to go against what I normally would think and what I feel. But the truth is like, we just want people to think on this podcast, and
We're tired. Like,
we're not saying people are wrong, we're not saying people are right. Just, if I ask you a question that's opposite of what you're thinking, it gets you to think. And if we said it, we meant it. Like, he made anti-woman, which means he means it, ladies. Just write that down. He does. He does, men. He loves Asian men. I hate
I love
Asians.
all men.
I hate Asians.
I love all women too.
Yep.
When I say I like my women, like I like my hot wings from Buffalo Wild Wings with a little Asian zing to it.
That would be me.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you. We'll put out next week's poll for.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the fuck it is.
I
Is
got
there anything you want to add to it before we go?
Nothing.
Pro women?
Pro women.
pro women.
Pro life.
Anti titty fucking.
Anti fucking on your period.
Pro fucking on your
Oh.
period. Anti straw.
Anti
Anti
strong.
strong.
Are you the kind of person that when you make a sandwich, do you cut the bread around the little edges?
I like that weird flavor of
Yeah.
like.
Wiener. Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.